I'm standing in line for sandwiches, surrounded by the awkward silence that follows a brutal confrontation, my mind reeling with the question. Did I just lose a friend over a careless comment in a language she couldn't understand? I've known Melody for a while, and we've always gotten along, despite not being incredibly close. About a year ago, I approached her and two of our other friends with an idea. Let's learn a language together. I'd always been fascinated by the prospect of speaking a new language, and I thought it would be more fun with friends by my side. Two of them agreed, but Melody declined, saying she wasn't interested. I tried to persuade her, telling her it would be a blast and that she could always quit if she didn't enjoy it. But she insisted she wasn't interested, and I eventually dropped the subject. The three of us who were learning the language started taking online classes and scheduling monthly study sessions to help each other out. These sessions became a great way for us to bond and get to know each other better, which was especially important for me since I wasn't particularly close to these friends at the time. Melody, on the other hand, wasn't invited to these sessions, which might have contributed to the jealousy that one of my friends later told me she was feeling. As we progressed in our language learning journey, we started to use our new language more and more in our daily conversations. At first, it was just a few basic phrases, but as time went on, we became more confident and began to use it in public settings. We'd make comments about people's clothes or something we overheard, and it would always leave us in stitches. Melody, however, was left out of these conversations, and she'd often ask us to translate what we were saying. But we'd brush her off, not wanting to spoil the fun by explaining the joke. I'm guilty of doing this to her multiple times, and I can see now how it might have been hurtful. The language became a sort of inside joke between us, and Melody was always on the outside looking in. The tension between us had been building for months, but it all came to a head 2 days ago when we were in line for sandwiches. Melody was with me and one of the friends I was learning the language with, and we were all waiting for our turn to order. I made a comment in the language, and my friend and I burst out laughing. Melody looked at us, confused, and asked what was so funny. We just kept laughing, and she asked again, but we didn't translate for her. This went on for about 2 or 3 minutes, with Melody growing more and more frustrated. I remember her saying, "Never mind," and then storming out of the sandwich shop, leaving us standing there in stunned silence. My friend and I looked at each other, still grinning from our laughter, but as the reality of the situation set in, our smiles began to fade. We both felt terrible and immediately called Melody to apologize, but she didn't pick up. We tried calling her again, but she wasn't answering. It wasn't until later that we realized she'd blocked both of us. The days that followed have been awkward, to say the least. Melody won't return our calls, and she's blocked us on social media. The friend who wasn't with us that day is still in touch with her, but even they don't know what's going on or how to fix the situation. I've been thinking a lot about what happened, and I have to admit, I feel bad about how things went down. I was the one who suggested learning the language in the first place, and I was the one who made the comment that set her off. But at the same time, I think Melody overreacted. She'd been feeling jealous of us for months, and it's not like we were intentionally excluding her. We'd always invited her to join us, and she'd always declined. So, the question remains, was I the jerk in this situation, or was Melody's reaction unjustified? As I reflect on the events that led to our falling out, I realize that the language we were learning was never just about the language itself, but about the bond we were forming as friends. And in the end, it was that very bond that was broken. Melody's feelings of jealousy and exclusion had been simmering for months, and my thoughtless comment was the spark that set everything ablaze. I'm left wondering what could have been done differently, and whether our friendship can ever be salvaged. Now, as I stand here, pondering the ruins of our friendship, I'm forced to confront the consequences of my actions. Was I wrong to speak a language my friend didn't know in front of her? Or was Melody's reaction a gross overstatement? Was I the jerk? Or was she just being too sensitive? The answer, much like the language we were learning, remains elusive, lost in the nuances of human emotion and the complexities of friendship. What do you think? Was I wrong to speak a language my friend didn't know in front of her? And am I to blame for our fallen friendship?
If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Drop your verdict in the comments below, subscribe for new stories every single day, and hit the notification bell so you never miss one.